What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Daniel Dubois versus Kevin Lerena. This is the co-main event for the Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora trilogy. So let's get into it. Daniel Dubois is coming into this one with a record of 18 wins, 1 loss, 17 wins by way of knockout. Now, since his loss to Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois has been back to his winning knockout ways. After his fight with Joyce, I wasn't sure what he was going to look like, right? For someone who has been in the limelight since they were amateurs and suffer a loss, you never know how they're going to respond. Physically, you know, the skills are still there. You know, they have all of the physical intangibles that got them to be at a successful level. But mentally, you're not sure what that's going to look like if you aren't careful, because a loss can either make you better or it can leave you down a different path and derail you and make you a shell of the person that you once were. So it's good to see him back on his winning ways and what he's been able to do since he's been back in the ring, right? Because he is very skilled. He's explosive. He's strong. He's a good technical boxer. He's got a good foundation in his stance. He's defensively responsible. And of course, he's got power. He can hurt you at any moment. It doesn't take much. If the shot connects, you feel it. But to me, he's a strategic heavyweight and puncher. Right? Some heavyweights use their size and they impose their frame and they just wear you down round to round, whether they're leaning on you when they're tying up and they're hitting you when they're tying up, right? A lot of heavyweights just grain on you and just weigh on you and just grind you out and grind you down. But Dubois isn't like that to me. Right? He's a boxer who can punch. While he can fight on the inside, he's at his best to me when he's the one controlling the tempo of the fight. When he can control, when he comes in and land his shots. When he's in control, he's a tough guy to beat because he's not going to overextend himself. He's not a big risk taker to me. Right? He fights to his skill set. In his last fight against Trevor Bryan, it took him 4 rounds to get the stoppage. But to me, he could have got the stoppage in round 1 or 2 if he would have just decided to turn up the pressure and the aggression and just let his hands go. Sometimes fighters, when they're in there with guys who they are more skillful and better than, they make the fight go a little bit longer because they're trying to work on some things, right? But I didn't get the fact that Dubois was trying to work on some things. It just looked like he was a little bit hesitant. But once he decided to come in and turn it on, it didn't last long, right? Like he's got that type of punching ability and that type of accuracy and precision where once he makes up his mind that he's going to turn on the power, to turn on that switch, there's a good chance his opponent is going down. But in this one, I'd like to see him pick up the pace and the tempo of the fight early. But his opponent, Kevin Lerena, isn't going to make this an easy fight. But let's talk about his opponent, Kevin Lerena, coming into this one with a record of 28 wins, 1 loss, 14 wins by way of knockout. He's fought most of his fights in South Africa, where he's from. He had 1 fight in Germany in 2020, where he won that fight by knockout. And he had a fight in 2018, I think in Azerbaijan, if I remember seeing that correctly. I'm not sure what the crowds were like there. But in the UK, he's going to be in front of a loud and roaring UK fan base who is going to be rooting against him. And in high-performance sports, the noise can get to you if you focus too much on it. But this is the first time that I'm hearing about Kevin Lerena. But from what I've seen, he's tough. In his last fight, he fought a guy who was 7 inches taller than him, who had been in the ring with some top heavyweights in that division. And he won that fight by unanimous decision. But he can punch, right? He puts together good combinations. When he's in close, he has a sneaky uppercut that he mixes in his attacks, a good straight hand, and he's got good hooks. He isn't going to lie down by no means in this fight. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't see anything in his skill set that makes me think he's going to have his way with Dubois. He's never fought anyone at the level where Dubois is. Dubois is naturally more talented than Lerena. I look at his movement inside the ring as well, too, and his feet are a bit slow, right? No real head or neck movement. He's very stagnant. I just don't see anything that makes me say that you should put a money on an upset, right? So who wins? As I said, I don't see the upset, not counting him out by no means. It's a fight and anything can happen, but he's going to have the fight of his life to beat Daniel Dubois. Right, this is a big step up for him than anyone that he's faced before. However, we did see what Jermaine Franklin did against Dillian White. A lot of people counted out Franklin, right? And Franklin held his own in that fight. Some argue that he won that fight. I could see that as well. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see what Lerena can do, right? He's tough. So I think this fight goes over 4 rounds, but I do have Daniel Dubois winning by knockout. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a couple ways that you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find my social media handles on screen as well. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.